Have mercy. It's 20 questions on everyone's favorite cheesy but somehow still great sitcom Full House, as picked by Patreon subscriber Sarah McKevitz. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be? And welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast, the only podcast I record in different rooms of my house. That's right, this is the only show I do. It is a trivia show. I'm sitting on the floor of my very messy bedroom with my wife right now. There's diapers that are rolled up, ready to be taken outside. There's a humidifier kicked over by a toddler. There are just clothing, pajamas, stuffed animals, things everywhere. I got to clean this room. But before I do that, I got to get you some trivia. This show comes out every single day, and today's episode is all about You Read It Right. Full House. Remember that show? What a great show. And by great, I mean sometimes terrible, but it's like always good when I think about it. I don't know how to describe this show. There's a lot of shows that you're like, that's just kind of a bad show, but it was on for too long. Some people might say this is a bad show, but I know a lot of people who grew up watching it nonstop, as did I, and I enjoy it quite a bit, even when I see it in reruns now. I'm not a huge fan of Fuller House. I tried watching it when I was sick one time, but I think that the sickness overtook, I don't care about this, so I should give it another shot. But my nieces and nephews love it, so I guess it's working for another generation. And it's definitely working for Sarah McKevitz, who loves the show. She's been a patron of mine for a while, and her pick for October, as we roll into early November here, kind of getting through everyone's picks, because we did a lot of spooky stuff, and I kind of inserted a lot of Halloween-related episodes, which put the patron picks on to the beginning of November. But we're jumping into those, and the next week or so will be a lot of the patrons' picks from October, and then they'll be picking new topics for November. So if you want to be aboard that train, just go to patreon.com/triviawithbuds, donate $5 or more, and you can make this show yours. I'll get to your topic within a month or so. Maybe you like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or Frasier, or Twin Peaks. I could do all three of those shows for a weird combination episode, like 3 random shows just put together. That'd be kind of fun. I had a fun weekend, did a big birthday party for the kids, which I mentioned on the last couple episodes, but also did a show for Lockheed Martin, which is a big space company, and they hired me kind of last minute to come do like a trivia mixer for these college kids that are invited to this big thing called Space Vision. It was in San Diego, down at the Town and Country Suites, I believe was the hotel, and it was great. We were in this giant ballroom. This was Friday night, so we were in this giant ballroom, held probably 2,000 people. And there were like tables set up for about 250 kids. I think we had between 2 and 250 that came by. They all formed teams, and then we did some space trivia. It was tons of fun. Everybody had a great time. But they had this giant cube just kind of floating, like sitting in the middle of this giant space with ominous music and lighting on it, and it was kind of lit up like in a purple glow. And it looked like like from the set of the Avengers or something. And I said, "What the hell is that?" And the guy goes, "Oh, that's our challenge cube. If people can open the door to it by answering certain questions, they get put on like a fast track list for Lockheed Martin." I'm like, wow, that's a cool thing. So he goes, "I'll take you in there before we start." So I got to go into this cube. The door shuts like a bank vault, and it's all mirrors. And this guy's just staring at me, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to be saw trap murdered. What am I doing? Because there was no one else around when I got there. But they actually just kind of give you like a big welcome message about solving the puzzle. There's all these mirrors and just like a cool, crazy, it feels like you're floating through space kind of a deal. And very, very cool, very neat recruiting tool for Lockheed Martin. Very, very interesting, and glad I got to be a part of that whole event. Hashtag Space Vision 2018 if you want to go see more posts about that on Twitter. Maybe you're into space. Also, I had to write some space rounds for that, so in November I'll probably sprinkle those in the podcast if you love space and Star Trek and anything that you could think of that has to do with space. We did some questions on it. This episode, like I said, is all about Full House. Quick shout out to my cousins Greg and Kurt, who went to visit my Uncle Blaine back in the early 90s and got to be on the Hawaiian episode where they go to Hawaii, and you could see them in a few audience shots. I may have mentioned that on the podcast before. But without any further ado, we're going to jump into 20 questions on Full House picked by Sarah McKevitz. Let's do that right now. Here we go. All right, everybody, Full House 20 questions today. Let's jump in and see how many of these you can get out of 20. I know there's some fans listening who are diehard Full House fans, so let's see if they can get all 20 or a good percentage of these correct. Here's question number 1. Jesse eventually marries Becky or Rebecca on the show. What is Rebecca's maiden name? Question number 1. Jesse eventually marries Becky or Rebecca. What is Rebecca's maiden name? First question of the Full House quiz. Question number 2. On the series finale of the entire series, Michelle loses her memory due to what type of accident? Number 2. On the series finale, Michelle loses her memory to what type of accident? Question number 3. What was the name of Stephanie's favorite stuffed animal as a child? Question number 3. Full House trivia. What was the name of Stephanie's favorite stuffed animal as a child? Question number 4. Only one episode of the show was actually filmed in San Francisco. It was called Whose Excellent Adventure? Number 4. Only one episode of the show was actually filmed in San Francisco. It was called Blank's Excellent Adventure. Fill in the blank. Which character? Number 4. Question number 5. What was the name of Danny and Becky's morning show? Question number 5. What was the name of Danny and Becky's morning show? 15 questions left in the quiz. Here's number 6. In the series, Stephanie drives someone's car through the house, causing mass destruction. Whose car was it? Number 6. In the series, Stephanie drives someone's car through the house, causing mass destruction. Whose car was it? Number 7, this one's kind of a loaded question. Ranger Roy was a senior ranger on an episode featuring Joey as Ranger Joe. The actor playing Ranger Roy was Barney Martin, which was a guy who played another famous sitcom dad. Whose sitcom dad was he? Question number 7, Ranger Roy was played by Barney Martin. Barney Martin played what other famous sitcom dad in the 90s? I'll give you that too, in the 90s. Question number 8, what 2 names does DJ's initials stand for? Question number 8, what 2 names does DJ's initials stand for? Question number 9, the actor who played Steve did the voice of what Disney character? Question number 9, the actor who played Steve did the voice of what Disney character? Halfway through the quiz, here's number 10. Which character breaks both arms on the show? Question number 10. Which character breaks both arms on the show? Full House. Number 11. What instrument can Joey play the best? Number 11. Which instrument can Joey play the best? Question 11. Here comes number 12. Danny shows his family an old tape where he says, "This is Danny Tanner reminding you that blank will never die." What does he say will never die? Number 12. Danny shows his family an old tape where he says, "This is Danny Tanner reminding you that blank will never die." Question number 13. In Season 3, to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of when Jesse and Joey moved in with the Tanners, Danny surprises the family with a trip to what location? Number 13. In Season 3, to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of when Jesse and Joey moved in with the Tanners, Danny surprises the family with a trip to what location? Number 14. What actor plays Jesse's childhood friend Pete, who claims Jesse went from Dr. Dare to Dr. Seuss? What a sick burn. Number 14. What actor plays Jesse's childhood friend Pete, who claims Jesse went from Dr. Dare to Dr. Seuss? Number 15. During Season 7, Michelle scores a point for the opposite team in what sport? Number 15. During Season 7, Michelle scores a point for the opposite team in what sport? Here comes question 16. What was the 3-letter name of Stephanie's friend played by Marla Sokoloff? Number 16. What was the 3-letter name of Stephanie's friend played by actress Marla Sokoloff? Number 17. On Season 4, Jesse gets to be on a commercial for what kind of product, only to find out they want him to strip to help sell it? Number 17. On Season 4, Jesse gets to be on a commercial for what kind of product, only to find out they want him to strip to help sell it? 3 questions left in your full house quiz. Hopefully you're kicking some butt. Here's number 18. About halfway through the series, DJ wants a pair of shoes called Blowouts. Are they $100 per pair, $160 per pair, or $240 per pair? How much are the blowout shoes that DJ wants? $100, $160, or $240? Number 19, what was the name of the deceased mother to the Tanners on the show? What was the first name of the character who passed away before the series started on the show? What was their mom's name? Number 19. And number 20, when Joey goes to Vegas to fill in for Wayne Newton, who does Michelle confuse Wayne Newton with? Question number 20, when Joey goes to Vegas to fill in for Wayne Newton, who does Michelle confuse Wayne Newton with? All right, those are your questions for the Full House Quiz. 20 questions in total. If you're looking for the answers, you got it, dude. They're coming up in just 1 second. Here we are back with the answers to the Full House Quiz. Let's see how you did out of 20 questions. Number 1, Jesse eventually marries Becky or Rebecca. What is Rebecca's maiden name? It's Donaldson. Rebecca or Becky Donaldson. Question number 2, on the series finale, Michelle loses her memory due to what type of accident? Horseback riding. Falls off a horse, I think hits her head. Number 2, horseback riding. Question number 3, what was the name of Stephanie's favorite stuffed animal as a child? That animal's name was Mr. Bear. I think it was a bear in like a detective costume, maybe, Mr. Bear. Number 4, only one episode of the show was actually filmed in San Francisco. It was called Comet's Excellent Adventure. Comet gets loose and runs around the city, I imagine. I don't think I remember that one. Number 5, what was the name of Danny and Becky's morning show? Wake Up San Francisco. Wake Up San Francisco. I should do a Wake Up Laverne, California morning show. I'll do it on Facebook live stream and 6 people will watch it. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Here's number 6. In the series, Stephanie drives someone's car through the house, causing mass destruction. Whose car was it? Joey's. That was Joey's, I think, new classic car or just new car. Drives it through the house. Number 7, Ranger Roy was a senior ranger on an episode featuring Joey as Ranger Joe. The actor playing Ranger Roy was Barney Martin, another famous sitcom dad. Whose dad was he? Jerry Seinfeld's. He plays Morty Seinfeld on Seinfeld and Ranger Roy on Full House. Question number 8, what 2 names does DJ's initial stand for? Donna Joe. Donna Joe Tanner. Number 9, the actor who played Steve did the voice of what Disney character? The lead character in Aladdin. That's right, Aladdin. Question number 10. Which character breaks both arms on the show? That was Uncle Jesse in a motorcycle accident. A lot of accidents on this show. Jesse breaks both arms and has to deal with it. And I remember Danny at one point says, hey, you need a hand with that because he can't reach something from a cabinet. Classic Bob Saget. Number 11, what instrument can Joey play the best? It's a harmonica. I think he busts it out the number of times in the series, harmonica. Number 12, Danny shows his family an old tape when he says, this is Danny Tanner, reminding you that blank will never die. The blank was disco. Disco will never die. Question number 13, in season 3, to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of Jesse and Joey moving in with the Tanners, Danny surprises the family with a trip to Hawaii. That was the episode I mentioned in the intro that my cousins got to go to. You could see them in the episode when they play with the Beach Boys, who for some reason are friends with Jesse. Number 14, what actor plays Jesse's childhood friend Pete, who claims Jesse went from Dr. Dare to Dr. Seuss? Scott Baio, Charles in Charge. Scott Baio was the actor. Number 15, during season 7, Michelle scores a point for the opposite team in soccer. We've all done it. Just kidding. Most of us know where the right goal is. Number 16, what was the 3-letter name for Stephanie's friend, played by Marla Sokoloff? Gia. I feel like she was always kind of a bad girl, getting Stephanie in trouble, but I think she was a good friend, if I recall. Number 17, on season 4, Jesse gets to be in a commercial for what kind of product, only to find out they want him to strip to help sell it. It's a sexy new cologne. And we all know that Jesse, played by John Stamos, has that cologne-selling body. Just got to get under those layers of clothing, right? Number 18, about halfway through the series, DJ wants a pair of shoes called Blowouts. Are they $100 per pair, $160 per pair, or $240 per pair? It was the middle choice, $160. So she gets her first job, I believe, or maybe just a job. I don't know. Number 19, what was the name of the deceased mother to the Tanners? Her name was Pamela Tanner. Pamela, Jesse's sister, Danny's ex-wife. And 20, when Joey goes to Vegas to fill in for Wayne Newton, who does Michelle confuse Wayne Newton with? She thinks Wayne Newton is Fig Newtons. That's a classic Michelle confusion type bit. Wayne Newton to Fig Newtons. And I went to college with a bunch of guys who claimed that I loved eating Fig Newtons. That's a little sidebar story about me. I don't know why they used to call me Fig Newtons. I think I bought them one time and they never let it die. I wish they would cut it out, like Joey would say, right? How'd you do? I'd love to see your scorecards. If you wrote down the answers, shoot me a DM on Twitter or Instagram at RyanBuds, or post it over on our patron group. If you're part of the patron group, I'd love to see how you did out of 20. Try to make them a good mix of easy, hard, and middle challenging. If you play with me live, I'd love for you to leave me a Yelp review. I have 106 Yelp reviews, and I always am looking for more with details on what you like or don't like about playing trivia with me. Here's one from Justin A., from just last week. He says, Ryan helped make my wife's 40th birthday an amazing night. He was very flexible with timing, very easygoing, and just plain fun. I was able to give him a list of subjects, and he came up with some amazing questions, and we worked out a very difficult round for the birthday girl, and man, did he nail it. Ryan's multimedia setup was really professional and brought the trivia rounds to a whole other level. I highly recommend Ryan, first for being an amazing host and second for being a great guy. I will definitely be using him again when the occasion arises. Thank you so much, Justin. That was a great review. I sincerely appreciate it. Justin and family just moved to Atlanta, and I know they listen to the show sometimes, so maybe they'll check this one out. Best wishes to all of them down that way. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thanks for telling a friend about this show, and we'll see you tomorrow for more Trivia with Buds. Cheers.